As we head into the month of March, one of the earliest celebrations in the Metro Detroit area is one of the most beloved of the entire year. It's Fat Tuesday, otherwise known as Pączki Day across Lower Michigan, where we see communities like Hamtramck light up with a lot of excitement as people go to get some of those tasty treats in observance of Ash Wednesday and the beginning of the Lenten season. But we have a strong connection to those Polish treats right here in the greater West Bloomfield area, and some history lessons behind them as well over at the Polish Institute of Culture and Research at Orchard Lake Schools here in Orchard Lake Village. Joining us now on the program for more information on some of that connection and history is their director, John Radzilkowski. Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Radzilkowski.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about this because it's one of the biggest celebrations in the Detroit area of the year. People look forward to what they call Pączki Day every single year, but it really connects back to Polish culture that made its way over to the Metro Detroit area in observance of this Christian holiday. Give us a little bit of that background.
Yeah, when Polish immigrants came here, obviously they brought a lot of those traditions and transplanted them here, Americanized them to some extent, but also shared them with their neighbors of many different ethnic groups. So if you go to any Polish bakery, you'll see people of all backgrounds lining up to get their pączki. So it's really become kind of a universal day. We like to say that on Pączki Day, everyone's a little bit Polish. And of course, it got its origins, as you mentioned, prior to Lent. Lent is a time of sacrifice and fasting and preparing for Easter. But also, the balance of that is to enjoy, to joy in creation, joy in all the gifts that we've been blessed with. And Pączki Day is kind of a way to celebrate that, to remember all the gifts we've been given, and to celebrate the goodness of God and the goodness of life.
And we know here in southeastern Michigan that there's a wide variety of cultures. Here in greater West Bloomfield, it is such a melting pot. But when people think of Pączki Day, when they think of Fat Tuesday, they tend to think of communities like Hamtramck. So how does our area, particularly Orchard Lake, maintain that strong connection to the Polish community in southeastern Michigan, but to Poland proper even today at institutes like yours?
Well, Orchard Lake Schools has been here in the West Bloomfield area since 1909, so we're pretty well established. We started out in Detroit in 1885 and moved here, so we've been a part of this community and a part of this part of the metro area for over a century, and so there's been a strong Polish presence here ever since. This has been a center for the Polish community. There are around 800,000 Michigan residents with Polish descent, so it's a pretty large group, especially in the metro area. And there's certainly this on the west side of the metro area. We've had a significant Polish presence as well. So this has been part of our tradition ever since.
Dr. John Radzilkowski is with us. He is the director of the Polish Institute of Culture and Research at Orchard Lake Schools, joining us on today's edition of the Splash Live. You can find more information on the Polish Institute, picrol.org, picrol.org, or search Polish Institute Orchard Lake for more information on their programs all throughout the year. Dr. Radzilkowski, people are going to be celebrating in all their own unique ways across our local area as we head into Fat Tuesday and throughout that day for celebrations across southeastern Michigan. But they wanted some insight on more traditional celebrations of this. Actually, it's a bit later on in the week, typically, I see from our notes here. It's usually Fat Thursday is a celebration, not Tuesday.
Yeah, in Poland, and that was a concession to Americans. Obviously, we're familiar with celebrations like Mardi Gras, which happens on a Tuesday. In Poland, they've already celebrated, or they've begun celebrating, and it's Fat Thursday, so it's the Thursday before Ash Wednesday. And so that's when they eat their pączki. We here in America, of course, on Thursday, on Fat Thursday, you can have your pączki. You can also have it on Tuesday, so you can enjoy it on both of those days. But as a concession to the American customs, and that's why this is really a Polish American celebration. It's really adapted to, as a lot of immigrants who came to this country and continue to come to this country do. Their cultures are not just an import from the old country, but they're really adapted to American conditions. We live in a society with many different cultures, many different traditions, and so part of that. That legacy is how do we explain ourselves to our neighbors of many different ethnic groups, and making a little adjustment from a Thursday to a Tuesday is a small concession, but that really emphasizes the importance of that pre-Lenten celebration, because everyone's already familiar with Mardi Gras, so we're just participating in that aspect of it. So it really is an American adaptation, but hey, you can celebrate on both days. It's all good. And then the Pączki tastes just as good on Thursday as on Tuesday.
So then I got to ask, how is your team over at the Polish Institute going to celebrate as we head into Fat Tuesday, head into Fat Thursday, and bring this celebration to be here in southeastern Michigan?
Well, we have on Tuesday, we are giving out, we have obviously a large student body here at our high school. So all the students are and the staff get at least one Pączki, should they wish to have that. And we're also we've been taking orders from our Orchard Lake community for that as well. This weekend, we have a new exhibit opening up in our Galleria on biography and art, looking at how famous people are commemorated through art and historical artifacts that are in our collection. So we welcome people to come and visit that. We're open on Sundays, the first Sunday of every month from 12 to 3. But you can also make appointments individually and for groups just by going on our website, contacting us and setting that up with us. We are on a high school campus, so we can't just have walk-ins during the week when the school is running. But we're open to people coming by as long as they can make an appointment with us. We're also having a classical music concert this evening, and we're having events. And you mentioned this is the lead up to Easter. So at the beginning of April, we're having an egg decorating workshop for Pączki. So you can go on our website and sign up for that as well if you want to learn that art of how to make beautiful decorated eggs. That's another wonderful tradition that we like to carry on here. So really throughout the next a month and then thereafter, we continue to celebrate those cultural ties.
It's a great facility over there. Your newly renovated Galleria. I was there for the soft opening just a little bit over a year ago. It's a fantastic space for multiple different kinds of events and celebrations. So if you're out there in the community and have not been able to get a chance to get over to that Galleria, highly suggested. In the meantime, you can find more events from the Polish Institute of Culture and Research at Orchard Lake Schools on their website, picrol.org. That's picrol.org. Dr. John Radzilkowski is with us on the Splash Live, the director of the Polish Institute of Culture and Research at Orchard Lake Schools. Got to ask you before we leave. Pączki Day is on its way in Greater West Bloomfield and across the local area. Everybody seems to have their favorite flavor for those that partake each and every year. What's yours?
My favorite is one that's actually pretty hard to get here in the U.S. It's called rose hip, or it's called in Polish dzika rosa, or wild rose, and it's made with a kind of wild variety of rose called rose hip. It has a really delicate flavor. But I like all the fruit flavors as well. But that's my favorite. And when and where I can get it, I never pass up that opportunity.
Well, John, we appreciate you coming on and telling us a little bit more about our special connection to Pączki Day, to Polish culture here in the Greater West Bloomfield area, and wish you a happy holiday coming up as well.
Thank you, and you too.